We'll have the prosecutor call our next witness, but I did receive a series of questions from the jury at the end of the day yesterday. Some of the things that are being requested are simply not admissible under the law, so I've determined under the law not to provide. I have provided the questions to the attorneys, and I think they're indicating that some questions may be answered with upcoming witnesses. Counsel, is that a satisfactory response?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Ivy, you may call your next witness.
And Your Honor, people call Ken Thompson. Please stand.
Take a seat. I'll give you an right hand. Will you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Please have a seat. You can move the microphone close to your mouth so the jury can hear you. And if you could start by telling us your full name and spelling your last, please.
Okay, my name is Kim Jean Thompson, Thompson.
Thank you, Ms. Ivy.
Thank you. Ms. Thompson, did you know Todd Stermer?
Yes,
How did you know him?
as a friend and a neighbor. He was also my daughter's softball coach.
How close was your home to his home?
Oh, approximately 2 miles, 2.5 miles.
And did you know Linda Stermer?
Yes.
And how did you know her?
Through our children, we also shared a love of chocolate labs and horses.
And when did you know the Stermers in 2007?
Yes.
And did you become aware of a fire that happened at their home?
Yes.
How did you become aware of that?
My cousin heard it on the scanner, and she knew that we were friends with Todd and Linda, and she got a hold of us and said that there was a fire, and so we immediately ran over to provide comfort to both of them, thinking that it was their fire of their home.
So when you got there, do you recall if there was anyone else there at the time?
There was the fire chief, Stephen Leach. I believe the assistant chief at the time was Doug Harrington, and he was there. And one of the fire department vehicles was there. And the only other ones that we saw were Nathaniel's, Mike. But I was focused on Linda.
So were you able to drive on the driveway, or how did you get to the house?
We didn't want to impede any of the rescue vehicles, so we parked our truck along the road on the opposite, or near the driveway, but not in the driveway. We didn't want to impede rescue vehicles.
Because at the time, were there any fire trucks there?
There was just one at that point in time, and after we got there, then they came rolling in.
And were you able to then make contact with anybody to approach the house?
The only ones we saw at that point in time were Doug Harrington, and then I saw Linda, and I just immediately went to her.
So you just ran down the driveway?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so where did you first see Linda at?
On the hill to the north side of the house, near where Todd was laying. And at that point, they were still trying to administer first aid. And so I just ran to her and wrapped her in my arms.
And were you able to speak to her at that time?
Very little. We were all so emotional at that point. I was just trying to provide comfort at that point.
And who was with you? Who came with you to the house?
My husband was with me, and then also my cousin Annette, who was there as well.
And then what did your husband do?
I believe he went to where Todd was, and he came back immediately, and he said, "Do not go near there." The dogs were, like I said, we had a love of dogs, and one of their dogs was actually one of my dogs that I raised and train to breed, and so the dogs were trying to jump. One of the dogs was trying to jump back into the house, And so my husband was trying to corral the dogs. Coco came right to me because, like I said, she used to be mine, so she ran right to me, and so we were able to keep her safe. But then my husband was trying to get the other one.
So there were 2 dogs?
Yes.
Do you recall what Linda was wearing at that time?
No, I don't remember the specific clothes. I know that it was for a January day. It was actually very pleasant. It started out that way. And then it kind of started to get a little less pleasant. And one of the firefighters, and I don't remember if it was Chief Leach or who it was, brought a blanket. And so she had the blanket wrapped around her.
Did you notice if she had anything on her feet?
I did notice that she did not have anything on her feet. She was in her stocking feet.
And did you do anything to help with providing anything for her feet?
Yes, 'cause especially when it started to get sleety and rainy, I was worried that her feet would get cold, and so I asked her what size shoes she wore, and she told me, and I knew that one of my aunts wore a 9 narrow, and so I let my cousin Annette know, who then contacted her mother and gathered up clothes and things for her and shoes so that she would have something on her feet.
And did they ultimately bring those clothes and shoes to the scene?
Yes.
And were you there then when Linda was able to change into those clothes and
Yes.
shoes? Where were you when she was changing into those clothes?
I was, I believe she put the shoes on right away, but then when she changed clothes, one of the, I don't remember if it was a rescue or if it was a police officer, but they had her go into like a van, and she changed clothes in that.
And did you see what they did with the clothes?
I just saw them put them in a bag.
How long did you stay on scene?
Quite a while. Like I said, I mean, she had no one else there with her from the family, and I knew that she needed somebody. I couldn't imagine going through that alone.
Did you stay into the evening hours?
I believe I stayed until she did have someone come. One of her family members, I believe. I don't know for sure who it was, but then they did take her, and then we left the scene.
Did she talk to you at all about what had happened that day while you were on scene?
No, she was very emotional, and then I think about the only thing she did ask was when things were, I guess, wrapping up, when she was getting ready to go, her concern was, would you take the dogs? Would you take care of the dogs for me? And we said, of course.
So you ended up.
We took the dogs with us, and we took care of them until they went back to family.
So did you have an opportunity to talk with Linda after the fire?
Yes. She came to the house a few times, and we sat at our kitchen table, and we were just trying to all make sense of what had happened. And so yes, she did come a few times, to check on the dogs, and then also, we were friends, and so came and we had been there, and so yeah, we did share a few times.
Did you ever ask her about what had happened?
Yes.
And do you remember what she told you when you first asked her?
I don't remember the order of what we were told, but it did change each time. And one time it was, he had a cold, and she had given him some Benadryl, and she thought that maybe he was drowsy or sleeping from that, and that when whatever happened, he couldn't get out.
Did she say where he was?
In his chair in the living room.
Did she say where she was?
She said she was in the basement.
Did she say what she was doing?
I believe she said she was doing laundry.
And then did she tell you how she, or why, or if she went upstairs?
She said she heard something and she ran up the stairs and saw that there was a fire and she couldn't get up. And so then she went out the walkout basement door and ran around to the van to try to get help.
Did she say she ever saw Todd before she ran out the basement door?
At that point, no. Later, she did say that she did see him, and that he ran out as she was trying to drive the van to go get help, and that was all. Because she saw him when she was in the van trying to get help.
So that was at a later date?
Correct.
That she said she saw him outside?
Correct.
And you said that as you talked to her then, the story changed a little bit?
Yes.
Do you recall then the next version or what the next thing she told you?
One of the other things she had said was that he was smoking pot, and she thinks that he caught himself on fire.
Did you ever know Todd to smoke pot?
I didn't know.
Did she ever talk to you about anything about heating with kerosene?
Yes, we knew that they heated with kerosene as they were building the home. They had a kerosene portable heater in the living room, and that they would fill the kerosene heater there.
Did she say that the kerosene heater was being used that day?
I don't recall.
At one point when you were helping with the dogs, did you see the van?
Yes.
And tell me about when you saw the van.
We were trying, Coco was under control, the chocolate lab, and we were trying to get control of the other dog, and he kept trying to get back in the house, and so we were really worried that he would do that and get hurt or injured or killed. So my husband and I kind of tried to corral him, and he ran around to the walkout level, and when we ran down there after the dog, I saw the van door open. The van was running, and I observed what looked like blood on the front fender and I believe bumper, but definitely on the fender. And I remember my husband and I looked at each other, and we both said the same thing: something's not right.
Could you tell if the van was running at that time?
Yes, it was running.
Did you ever ask her about the van?
No.
Did you ever tell her what you saw?
No.
Did she ever tell you anything about the van?
No. Other than at the beginning, she said she was in the van to get help.
When you were there on scene, did you see any smoke or flames?
Yes. When we got there, there was smoke coming out of the lower windows, and it was shocking to me how quickly even with fire department there, how quickly the home was within. It seemed like within a minute and a half, there were flames coming out of the roof. It was so fast. It was shocking.
So when you got there, it was just more smoke?
Correct. We could see a little bit of flame in the front lower level windows, but we didn't see any smoke or flames coming out of the upper story until, like I said, it was a very, very short period of time, and then there's smoke and flames everywhere.
So I want to just be clear, there's the walkout level.
Correct.
There's the main level,
Right.
and then there's a second story, correct?
Correct.
So when you say when you first got there and you saw the smoke, You're talking about the main level?
The main level, as we were coming up the driveway, it's an inclined driveway, and as we got up closer up on top of the hill, we observed the smoke coming out of those windows, the main level front windows, roadside windows.
Did you ever talk to Linda about where the boys were?
Yes, that was our first concern. Where are the children? And we asked that, immediately when we first saw her. Where are the children? And she said the children were safe. They were gone. I think she said they were in Kalamazoo. But she did say that the children were safe because we were very, very concerned that they might still be in the home.
Did she say why they went to Kalamazoo?
No.
When you saw the van, how close was it to the back of the house?
I would say within 5-6 feet of the walkout door.
Were you ever interviewed that day by police officers on scene?
No, we got there before the police officers were there, and then what we later found as we left, that there were police stationed at the base of the driveway taking the names of everybody, but we didn't realize that was going on, or I didn't realize that was going on. So we never, as far as I know, we were never on that list because we were there before that took place.
And then when you left, you just left.
Right.
So it's safe to say that was a pretty chaotic scene that day?
Very, very, very traumatic and emotional, yes.
And do you see Linda Stermer in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Yep. Could you point to her and describe her by something she's wearing?
That she knows that they'll get.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Thompson. How long had you known the Stermers?
Oh, since before they built their home, the children were young and in Little League together, and Todd was a coach. And I think Linda and I bonded initially with her 2 chocolate labs. I was a chocolate lab lover as well. So we just kind of bonded, I think, over our children and our dogs. And we both are horse lovers and both had horses. And so we bonded over those things. And they were a neighbor. And in our area, neighbors look out for each other.
Okay. And so, in reference to the home that was destroyed by the fire, was there another home that they lived in the area that you knew at that time as far as the relationship?
I knew they lived in the area because our children went to school together at that point in time before they were in Little League together, and Todd was our daughter's coach. I don't recall where exactly they lived prior to that home. I know where Linda lived after the fire, but I don't recall where they lived before that. I know at one point they lived in Lawrence, kind of across the road from Sills Farm Market, but I don't know if that predated the home or while they were building the home or if it was after.
So they lived in Lawrence?
Yes.
Before they built the house that was destroyed in Lawrence, is that right?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. But you never went to that home?
Not that I recall.
Okay. And so the relationship that initiated with you and Miss Stermer was a result of the children and the love for your horses and your dogs, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did y'all participate in any type of competition with the horses or the dogs?
No. She did assist us, me, in when I was establishing my breeding operation for the chocolate labs. She did help facilitate finding the stud dog that I used, and so And like I say, it was a mutual love. They bought one of our puppies, and then later Coco, which was the second dog that they got from me. It was, I guess, like all I could say is that we had a mutual love of dogs and horses and kids.
So that the horses that y'all used, I'm gonna say that y'all raised horses for sale, or were they for competition?
My horses were just for pleasure riding. At that point, Linda had rescued some horses too from out of state, I believe, and so they were caretakers for those horses, those rescue horses.
Okay. So over the years, how many years would you say that you had known the Stermers?
Oh, that's difficult. I would say 3 years possibly before the fire.
Okay. And so this unfortunate incident occurred in 2007. Were you contacted by any law enforcement agency after the fire to give any type of report or interview?
No.
So in 2007, did you make any attempt to contact anyone in reference to any information you had about what you saw that day?
No.
Have you ever been contacted by the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office?
Just recently.
And when you say recently, how recent is that?
Possibly, I don't know the exact date. It was before we left for Florida for the winter.
In 2024, 2025?
24.
2024.
Correct.
So from 2007 to 2024, you had never been contacted by anyone from the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office or the State Police Department for the state of Michigan or the State Fire Department or any law enforcement officer. Is
No.
that correct? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Were you a little surprised when you were contacted in 2024 for an incident that happened in 2007?
No.
You wasn't surprised?
No.
Ms. Thompson, had you ever seen a house fire before?
No.
You mentioned the fact that you were aware that kerosene was on the property as part of the household use of heat. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you ever visit the home to see the location of their heating system or how it was installed?
The only time I saw the kerosene heater was during construction when they were in the process of building the home. And it was in the lower level as you walked in. It was like kind of like right there in the open area when it was under construction.
Were you aware of how much kerosene was used on the, as far as the heating system in the house?
No.
Okay. Do you ever see any gasoline on the property?
It was a farm. We all have gasoline on our farms.
Okay. You ever see any of the machinery that they had on the property?
Tractors,
How many?
lawnmowers.
Okay. Now, you don't know what caused the fire.
No,
Okay. And when you arrived at the scene, your cousin is Annette Brandel. Is
Correct.
Is that right?
correct.
Okay. And the reason why you came to the location, was it because you got a telephone call from Miss Grant, your cousin?
Correct.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
And did you and her meet there together?
Yes.
You did? Okay. And where was Linda when you arrived at the house?
She was on the hill to the north of the house, a short distance away from where they were working on Todd.
Okay. And when you say the hill, are you referring to the elevation of the house, and there's an upper and a lower?
There's an incline, what I would call a small hill, going from the road level up to where the home was built, and it was built on a hill. It was a walkout, so it was at where the home was, and to the north or to the right of that. And Linda was a little, probably a short distance away from that while they were administering aid to Todd.
Okay. And you stated that there was Mr. Steve Leach was there, right?
Correct. He was the one, I believe, that was working on Todd.
Okay. And do you recall anyone else being present?
Doug Harrington, who I believe was the assistant chief at the time, and I believe Mike Matheny was standing off to the south side, but I didn't talk with Mr. Matheny.
And who was Mr. Harrington?
Doug Harrington was our township supervisor at the time, and also, I think at that point in time, he was also the assistant fire chief.
Did you observe Mr. Matheny providing any assistance and aid?
I didn't notice. Like I said, I was focused on Linda and went immediately to her.
Okay, and where was she? Was she inside one of the vehicles, or was she standing outside?
She was standing outside at that point in time.
Okay. Did you observe her at some point being placed in a vehicle?
Yes. My cousin Annette's mother, my Aunt Gail Crandall, arrived on scene with the clothes and the shoes, and then she sat inside. I believe it was Chief Leach's personal vehicle, a red truck. My aunt and Linda went into the truck together.
Was there an ambulance there at the time that you were present?
Eventually, but not when I first arrived.
Okay. Well, did you see Miss Stermer? Did she leave while you was present?
Yes.
Okay. How did she leave?
I believe it was a family member that came and got her. I don't recall exactly who it was.
Okay. Did you observe any law enforcement officers talking to Miss Stermer?
Yes.
Do you know who it was?
No.
Was it a male or a female? Or do you recall?
Both.
Okay. How far was your house from the Stermer's house?
About 2.5 miles.
Okay. Could you see the smoke from your house?
No, our home is in the middle of the woods.
Okay. But as you approached the premises, you made a statement that you could see a lot of smoke.
Yes.
Okay. From the upper part of the house, right?
No, initially when I arrived, the smoke was coming out of the lower windows on the roadside on the main level. And we were there just a very short time, and smoke started coming out of the upper story windows and then out of the roof.
So when you first arrived, you saw smoke coming from the lower part of the house?
The windows on the main level on the roadside.
On the road side, is that what you're saying?
Correct. So not the walkout side, but the main level side. What I guess you would call the first story, not the basement.
Okay. Do you recall what the weather conditions was as far as the terrain there that day?
It started out as a sunny winter day. It was unseasonably warm initially. Then the weather did deteriorate, and it started spitting like a rain-sleet mix. And that's when I noticed that she was in her socks, and I was concerned, about that.
She was outside in her socks without a coat on, is that correct?
Correct.
Have you been shown any photos of the property or of the house?
No, I was not shown any photos.
And you retrieved the two dogs that was at the property, is that right?
Correct.
Were there horses still on the premises at that time?
Yes, in the pasture.
Okay. Did you help care for those and rescue the horses?
Pardon?
Did you have anything to do with the relocation of the horses, or did they remain there?
I did not.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
I'm not really questions, Your Honor.
Jury, any questions of her? I've got some hands going up. If you haven't already done so, we'll have you write them down and we'll retrieve them. Okay, I'm asking some of the questions asked by the jury. I'm not asking others, determining under the law not to ask them. What time did you arrive on the Stermer scene?
I believe it was the early or mid-afternoon.
You observed blood on the fender, you testified. Where on the fender?
On the front bumper on the driver's side and on the fender of the front driver's side.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, counsel. Any questions in light of those questions and answers?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions in light of that question and answer? Okay.
Ms. Thompson, when you say you saw blood on the fender, on the driver's side?
On the front of the vehicle. And I believe it was on the front quarter. I don't know the terminology, but like the front on the driver's side and on the side driver's side is where I observed blood. There might have been blood elsewhere, but I don't know. That was the only location that I saw, and then I backed right off when I saw that.
But you've never been shown any pictures for
No,
you to point out
no.
if that was correct as to what you saw, right?
That was just what I observed, and I saw that location, and my husband and I looked at each other, and we both said something's not right, and I backed right off. I did not want to be there, so we got the dog and got out.
I have no further questions, Sean.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Jury, any other questions of her? No. Is she excused from her subpoena, counsel?
Yes, it should please be excused.
Mr. Kelly, agree?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Who cited me?
Thank you, Your Honor. People call Ken Thompson to the stand, please.
Sir, before you have a seat, I'll have you raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please have a seat, sir. You can move that microphone close to your mouth so the jury can hear you. And once you're settled, we'll have you give us your full name and spell the last, please.
Ken Thompson, Chompson.
Thank you, Ms. Ardeen.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Thompson.
Good morning.
Mr. Thompson, did you know Todd Stermer?
I did.
And how did you know Todd?
He coached my children, and he was a neighbor.
And how well did you know him?
Oh, I thought fairly well.
And do you know Linda Stermer?
Yes.
And then how do you know her?
The same. Yeah. And just a neighbor and someone in the neighborhood and the mother of children that my children grew up with.
And how close is your house to the Stermer residence?
Oh, as a crow flies, about 1.5 miles by road, maybe 2 miles.
Do you remember January 7th of 2007?
I do.
And could you tell me what you were doing that day?
We spent the day on the farm across the road from Stermers cutting firewood.
What was the weather like?
It was a beautiful day. It was shirt-sleeve weather until later in the afternoon. It got nasty.
And so when you say you were across the street from the Stermers, were you directly across the street from the Stermer residence?
Just on the farm across the street, but at the north end of that farm.
And do you recall when you saw the fire?
It was, I went by Stermers, went home, and I was probably home 15, 20 minutes, and we got a call that Stermer's house was on fire.
So you had just driven by the Stermer residence 15
Yes.
or 20 minutes prior?
Yes.
And then how did you learn that there was a fire?
Kim's cousin Annette called, and she heard it on the scanner.
And so do you remember distinctly seeing the Stermer home as you were passing by it?
I can't say that. I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary.
You didn't see any smoke.
No.
So what happened then once you got that phone call?
I told Kim to jump in the truck, and we headed right over there.
And what was your thought? What were you going to do?
Anything we could.
When you got there, was there anyone else there?
I saw Chief Leach was there in his pickup truck, and I saw Mike Nathini in his pickup truck.
How long would you say it took you from the time you got that call on the scanner to get to the Stermer residence?
5 minutes maybe.
So you had just been by 15, 20 minutes prior, walked in the door, got the call, and then it took you another 5 minutes to get back over there.
Correct.
Did you go up the driveway, or where did you park your car?
We parked out toward the road so we wouldn't hinder any, because I knew fire vehicles would be coming. So we parked out by the road, and then I headed up the driveway to the house.
What did you do then once you got down the driveway?
I saw Linda, and I asked Linda, where are the children? Is there anybody else in the house?
And what did she say?
At first she was kind of incoherent, and my first thought was for the children in the house, so I was headed for the front door when she stopped me and said, no, there's nobody in there. The children are somewhere.
So you were getting ready to go into the house?
I was.
And did she come up to you and stop you, or did she grab you, or how did that?
Well, no, she just, I went by her, head for the house, and she stopped me, just called to me.
And then what did she say at that point?
She said that there was nobody there, the children were somewhere, and I don't remember where she said they were.
Did you see any smoke or fire at that time?
I did, just a very little bit coming out of the chimney chase at the very top of the house.
At the top of the house?
Yes.
And that was the only place you saw smoke at that time?
Yes.
There were no firefighters there at that time?
Just Chief Leach was there in his personal pickup truck.
So you didn't see any smoke coming out the windows at that time?
Not at that time.
And you were standing in front of the house?
Yes.
Having this conversation with Linda?
Yes.
Did you see Todd at all?
Not that I recognize this stuff.
So tell me what you saw.
Well, I saw Chief Leach on the ground working on something, and I didn't recognize as a person.
Did you go over there?
I went too close. I wish I never would.
What'd you see?
It was unrecognizable as a person.
Couldn't recognize his face? Couldn't recognize his face?
No.
How close did you get to Todd?
Oh, I would say from me to you. Can we get a reference from the record? I'm going to say 12 feet.
I think yesterday we said 16, but I'll go with 12 today.
Sharpen my eyes a little bit.
And I understand this is very difficult. Where was Linda at that time?
I think she was still in approximately the same spot in the driveway in front of the house.
In front of the house.
Yeah.
What was she doing?
Well, I kind of lost track of her at that point.
What did you do then? You said you lost track. What were you
Then
focusing
the
on?
firefighters started to arrive, and I know all those guys, and I just went to them and see if I could assist them in any way, ladders, hoses, whatever.
And were you able to assist them?
Well, not with ladders or hoses. Yeah.
So how long were you on scene?
5 hours.
And you said when you got there, you just saw a little bit of smoke coming out of the top of the house? What did you observe then in the minutes that you were there?
Smoke started coming out windows, and eventually the whole house went up.
How long did that take, do you think?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but probably 20 minutes, half hour.
So it was minutes.
Yes.
After the fire, did you have conversations with Linda, or were you present when she was talking about the fire?
Yes.
And where did those conversations happen?
Our kitchen table.
And do you recall what Linda said happened that day when she was at your kitchen table?
No.
Did she tell you where she was when the fire started?
Well, she told me that, I talked to her the evening of the fire.
Oh,
She
so
said she was in the basement doing laundry.
so this was actually the day of the fire?
Yes.
Not at your kitchen table?
Right.
So then, was this a few hours after you arrived, or was it close to the time you arrived?
Close to the time.
Okay. So what did she tell you when you were talking on scene about the fire?
She said that she was downstairs doing laundry, and Todd was sleeping in his chair, and Todd yelled, "Linda, get out, the house is on fire." And she went out the basement door.
She went out the basement door?
She said she looked up the stairwell and could see she couldn't get up there.
Did she say why she couldn't get up there?
I think there was flames or whatever, the impression I got.
And then she went out the basement door?
Yes.
Did she say anything else about that day?
Yeah, we talked for several minutes, several times. And I don't remember every bit of the conversation.
Anything that you remember about the fire and conversations with her, or just that?
Pretty much that.
And you stayed on scene for several hours.
Yes.
Did you stay until Linda left?
What's that?
Did you stay until Linda left?
I'm not sure. I know Linda was with the girls and I was with the firefighters, and I kind of lost track of her.
And at some point, did you see the van on the property?
I did.
And tell me why you saw the van.
Well, the deputy had asked us to guard that van and make sure that nobody touched it, or especially nobody sprayed it with water.
And why was that?
I guess there was evidence on it. You could see blood on it.
So you saw the blood?
I sure did.
And where did you see the blood?
Oh, down the front of the van, and then on the bumper going underneath the van.
Have you talked to Linda? You said there were some conversations at your kitchen table after the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any conversations with her about the fire at your kitchen table?
I don't recall.
I have no further questions for this witness, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson.
Good morning.
I think I can segue some of the information I previously received from your wife. You and your wife have known the Stermer family for about 3 years prior to the date of the fire. Is that correct?
Yeah, ever since they moved to Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever go over and participate with Mr. Stermer in reference to any of the construction of the house?
Not the construction, no.
Okay. Did you ever go over to the house while the house was under construction?
Yeah, probably a time or two.
Time or two?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you describe what you knew as far as the layout of the house?
No. No, I didn't know the layout of the house.
Didn't?
I never went inside.
Never went inside. Okay. Okay. What would have been your purpose for being over to just?
Todd had a business. He sold military surplus, and I purchased a lot of things from him.
Military surplus?
Yes.
Okay.
Clothing. Yeah.
Okay. So he had an office that he worked out of the house with. Is that right?
I'm not sure. No, he always had stuff in his truck, or he would just bring stuff out.
From the van? Or?
I don't remember the van.
Okay. Okay. Would it be fair to say that your knowledge of a fire was from a telephone call of your wife's cousin about the reason why y'all came to the house?
Yes, that's why we went over there.
Okay.
Yes. The call was Stermer's house is on fire, and I thought, I just went by there. Stermer's house isn't on fire, but so we hopped in the truck and headed right over there.
Okay. So now that brings me to a question that you stated that you had just been by the Stermer house.
Yes.
This was on a Sunday. Is that correct?
It was on a weekend. I know we were cutting firewood across the street. It might have been Sunday.
Okay. And about what time a day was it when you had been by the house?
Oh gosh, we'd cut firewood for quite a long time. I'm not sure. Maybe sometime in the early afternoon.
Okay. And when you say you was cutting firewood, are you cutting firewood across from the Stermer property?
Yes. Yes. On the neighboring farm, right across the road.
You and who else?
Me and my 2 cousins.
Okay. And what time did y'all start cutting firewood?
Well, probably 9 a.m.
Okay. Did you know the vehicles that was part of the family that was parked at the Stermer property?
No.
I mean, had you seen? Well, let me just clarify that. Did you know how many vehicles that the Stermers had?
No.
From the times that you had been over there, you only saw
Well,
one vehicle.
you know, over the years, differing vehicles at differing times.
Okay. Well, let's say for, just during this period of time when you were cutting firewood, say for instance the last 2 weeks prior to that, had you seen the vehicles, any vehicles at that property?
No, not that I noticed, no.
Let me ask you this, had you ever seen the van?
I didn't remember that van until that day.
Okay. Could you say what type of vehicle you had a memory of that you had seen there on the property?
No.
You stated that Mr. Stermer sold you some products or
Yes.
from his truck?
Yes, it seemed like he had like a cube truck with a roll door on it at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so you all complete your task of cutting wood about 12 o'clock that afternoon?
No. It was later in the afternoon. It was I would guess in the area of 4, maybe 5.
4 or 5 o'clock?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And so you had a direct view of the Stermer property from where you all were cutting wood, right?
No, we were at the north end of that farm, and there's trees and fence rows, and no, I couldn't see their house from where we were.
Okay, but when you finish cutting your wood, you're leaving, you have to come on the road.
Right.
And pass
We
the
went
Stermer
by
property.
Stermer's house, yes, on
Okay.
the way home, yes.
Okay.
And I didn't notice any smoke or anything out of the ordinary.
And didn't notice any vehicles there. Is that right? Of course, you wasn't looking for anything suspect, right?
I was not.
Okay.
No, we were headed home.
But you definitely didn't see any smoke or any fire.
I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. Did you notice anybody outside at all?
I didn't.
Okay. All right. What was the weather conditions that day that you recall?
It was earlier in the day. It was just beautiful. It was a perfect day to cut firewood. I mean, we were in flannel shirts, and it was the weather was good. But later in the afternoon, around dark, the weather got pretty bad. It was spitting snow and rain, and it got pretty rough.
Okay. And the road that is in front of the house, the Stermer property, is it paved or
It is.
gravel?
Yes, County Road 215. It's paved.
It's paved.
Yes.
Blacktop or paved?
Yes.
Okay. To your knowledge, on the Stermer property, when you turn off the road for what would be, or driveway, was it paved?
No. It's gravel.
Gravel?
Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever been to the back side of the Stermer property?
Well, before they built the house, I knew every step of that property.
I beg your pardon, you said before you...
Before they built the house, yeah, I was on that property quite a bit.
Okay, so you knew the property before they even purchased
Yes.
the property?
Yes.
Okay. What was do you know how many acres it was?
Well, it started out, it was the original farm, it was a big property, and I'm not sure how many acres that they purchased.
Okay.
Yes.
But you was very familiar with the geographical layout of the
Yes.
property, right? And the house itself Could you describe the sloping of the house? Was it flat or was it an
No,
incline?
on the sides of the house, it sloped down, you know, with a walkout basement.
Okay.
I would say that it was about a 1-story drop from, you know, the sides of the house down to the basement entrance.
Okay. And so when you arrived on the property as a result of the telephone call from your wife's cousin, you stated that you immediately saw smoke from the chimney.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see any flames from the chimney?
No.
But you saw smoke.
Yes.
Was it a large ball of smoke?
No. I thought that initially that it was a chimney fire because it was the smoke was coming right out the chimney chase, and that's the only smoke that I saw. So I thought maybe they just had a chimney fire.
Were you familiar with chimney fires?
Yes.
Have you ever served on the fire department before?
No.
Okay. But you've seen a chimney fire before?
Many.
Okay. Were there... Could you give an estimate time frame as to, if you can recall, when you and your wife arrived? What would you say a guesstimation of your time when you arrived
When we
on the
arrived.
property?
I'm not sure.
You left cutting the wood
Yes.
about 3 or 4?
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you say it was after 5 o'clock then, right? When you would arrived at the Stermers property?
That I couldn't say. I didn't look at a watch.
Okay. And did you pull into the property off of the road?
Yes, we pulled just off the road, and then, like I say, we wanted to make sure that we weren't going to hinder any fire vehicles, so we kind of got out of the way and made sure our vehicles were out of the way.
Okay. And by the time that you're parking your vehicle, you began to see smoke coming from another part of the house?
Well, it didn't take very long, and then there was smoke coming out windows.
Okay. And you saw that after you
Yes.
got out of your vehicle, is that right?
Right.
Okay. And these windows, they face the frontage of the road, is that right?
And on the sides.
And on the side?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I noticed the smoke coming out the windows on the side.
Okay. But you didn't see any fire trucks there at that time? right?
No, just Chief Leach was there with the chief's truck.
Okay. So, what did you do when you saw the smoke coming out of the windows, you see the smoke coming out of the chimney, you and your wife get out of your vehicle? What do you do then?
Well, I saw Linda in the driveway, and I quickly went to Linda. I was concerned for the children, and, I said, Linda, where's the children? And at first she was kind of incoherent, and I thought that the children would be inside. So I was kind of headed for the door, and she said, no, there's nobody in there. The children, I forget where she said they were.
Okay, when you saw Miss Stermer, was she with somebody else? Or
No,
was
she
she
was
just
by
alone
herself.
by herself?
She was by herself.
And where were, you said Mr. Leach was there, where was he at?
He was just to the north of the driveway, and he was on the ground.
Okay.
And at first I thought maybe he was working on some equipment, a fire extinguisher or whatever. I didn't recognize that it was a body.
Okay. And did you see anyone else there?
No,
Just Mr. Leach? and Miss
Right.
Stermer.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And so after you were comfortable with the fact that there was no one else in the house, the children wasn't in the house, nobody else was in the house, what did you do then?
Oh, I just waited for the fire department to arrive. And it wasn't very long and they arrived.
And do you know which fire department it was that arrived?
Lawrence.
Lawrence? Okay. And did you ever go over to the location where Mr. Stermer was lying on the ground?
No, I avoided it.
Okay. Okay. From the position that you were at, did you detect any unusual odor?
No.
Okay. Where was the van parked at?
It was behind the house. It was down the hill and around behind the house. You couldn't see it from the front of the house.
Okay. Okay. And what was the ground like?
It was slippery. It was kind of muddy.
Kinda, or was it muddy?
Well, it was muddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And at that time, was it still raining?
It had started to rain after we were there a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you recall the clothing that Miss Stermer had on?
I do.
Okay. Could you describe what you saw?
She had a t-shirt, gym shorts, and white socks. Just socks, no shoes.
And shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And a t-shirt.
Yes.
What would you estimate, just based upon your feelings of the weather then, what would you estimate the temperature to have been at that time when you arrived?
At that time when I saw Linda, I don't know. I'm not sure. I couldn't say. But the temperature was dropping fast.
Dropping fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It started out as a rain, and then it started to spit snow, rain mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you were there when some of the law enforcement officers arrived, or were you?
I really didn't notice them. You know, I was with the firefighters. I heard the sirens and everything coming. I did see one deputy's vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you were familiar with some of the personnel of the fire department, is that right?
Oh yes.
Okay. Had you ever worked in the fire department?
I never did. No.
Okay.
They asked me to join, but I thought they'd be better served with spending their training money on a younger person. But several times I've, just been on scene just to assist in any way, carry a ladder, carry a hose, do whatever.
It's a volunteer.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
My wife was on the township board, and she was, it's a small town, and everybody kind of helps each other.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why the motto is "We grow together," right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, you stated in direct that someone asked you to watch the band.
Yes.
Do you recall who?
The deputy asked the assistant chief, Doug Harrington, and Doug Harrington asked me to help in that.
So you saying the deputy?
Had asked Doug Harrington to make sure that no water got sprayed on there and nobody, touched the van. And he asked me to help him in that.
Okay. So in putting out the fire, they wanted to make sure that the van didn't get hit with the water, is that what they were talking about?
Right.
But you
If
wasn't
it-
directed to move the van, though, right?
I don't think you could have, because it was that muddy. I don't know if you could have moved the van.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think you would have had to have it towed.
Okay. And so approximately how long did you remain on the scene?
Like I say, we didn't get home. It was pretty late. It was pretty late. I would say we were there 5 hours.
Okay. And you recall someone bringing Miss Stermer some clothes, right?
I know the girls, Linda wanted my wife's Aunt Gail to bring her some clothes and shoes, and she just wanted her there maybe for comfort or whatever.
Okay. Okay. And so, since 2007, you haven't had to speak of this case to anyone in law enforcement?
No. No one in law enforcement.
And on that date, did any of the law enforcements that arrived, did any of them take an interview statement from you?
No.
Okay. Mr. Thompson, let me, you recall the fact that there was two dogs at the house?
I saw one dog.
You saw one dog?
Yes.
Were you part of rescuing the dogs?
Yes. While we were standing down there by the van, the basement window had been broken out, and the dog kept jumping through the window into the fire. I think the dog was just traumatized, and it kept jumping back and forth in and out of the window, and we were trying to catch it.
Did you have to go inside to get him?
No.
Okay.
No.
But you was able to ultimately rescue him?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, and then we kept the dog for Linda and the children.
Okay.
Yes.
And did you see anything on the van in reference to any type of blood on the van?
Yes.
Okay. And where did you see that at?
As I remember, it was down the front of the van, and then on the bumper, and then kind of, it seems like, to the best of my recollection, it was led underneath the van.
Underneath the van?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get down and look up underneath the van?
Well, I didn't get down on my knees or anything.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Was it just on the front, or
That's all I saw was
just on the front?
on the front. Yes.
Okay. But you don't know what caused
No.
blood to be on the van,
I had no idea.
and you don't know what caused the fire.
No idea.
Okay. And my last question, when you said you first approached Linda Stermer, you stated that she was traumatized, in your opinion?
Yes.
Okay. And she couldn't speak, or did she speak?
Well, she could speak, but she wasn't making a lot of sense. She was sobbing, and, when I first asked her where the children were, I think her response was, I don't know. And that's what led me to, I was going to go through the front door and see if I could do anything for the children. But then as I headed for the door, she told me, no, there's nobody in there. The children are somewhere.
While you were on the location, where was the great amount of flames and smoke that you identified while you were present there?
Well, I was toward the back of the house with Doug Harrington, and so that's where I saw the most flames.
From the back of the house?
Right.
Okay.
But I don't know at that time what was going on with the front of the house. I was, in the back.
Okay.
You good? You done? Okay. Ms. Seidelman?
Thank you. So I just want to clarify, when you first got there, you saw the smoke on the top. There were no holes in the roof at that time.
No.
Fire hadn't broken through
Just
yet.
small. Yeah.
Okay. And was Mr. Matheny, did I remember you saying he was there?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was him, but I recognized the truck, and it was off to the side. He was kind of off to the side.
Okay, so he was there when you and Steve Leach were there as
Yeah.
well?
Yes.
Okay. And did you smell the fire?
Did I smell the fire? I can't say I recall smelling anything.
Don't remember.
No.
And you arrived, were there law enforcement at the end of the driveway when you arrived?
I don't recall.
And you didn't put your name on a list or anything while you were on scene?
No, nobody asked me anything that night.
And you left then before you actually talked to the law enforcement?
Right. Yeah, when the fire department left, we left.
So you were actually kind of with the firemen and helping
Yes.
them out?
Yes,
So the dog was jumping in the basement window?
it was.
Was-
Probably 4 or 5 times.
So the dog get burnt?
No, the dog would jump through the window, and then the flames would drive it back and jump out the window, and then we'd try to catch it, and it would run around a circle and jump back in the window.
So there weren't any flames coming out the window?
No, but you could see flames inside.
And if I told you that the dispatch call came in around 3:30, would that surprise you?
No, it was, that seems appropriate.
Seems about right time
Yes.
in terms of the events of that day?
Yes,
Fits in with your cutting of the firewood.
right.
So I'm guessing, were you looking at a watch or a clock?
Not at all.
I have no further questions, Your Honor. Thank
Every
you.
day is work from daylight to dark.
I have no further questions.
Jury, any questions of this witness? Anyone? I've got one hand going up. Did you assist at all with covering Todd with any clothing?
No,
Thank you.
no.
Any other questions? Any questions in light of the question asked and answered?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Kelly, any questions of him? Anyone? Nope. Thank you, sir. Can he be excused from subpoena?
I would ask you to please be excused.
Any objection to that? To excusing him from his subpoena?
Yes.
Good. Okay, thank you. You're done and you're excused from your obligation under subpoena, sir.
Thank you, Stop.
Counsel, can you approach, please?
Yes, Your Honor.